I'm Chris Thayer, and this is Taking Care of Business. So the first thing I want to talk about, I'm just going to set the tone right now with this very first video, is the difference between a rehearsal and a practice. So most people would think that those words are interchangeable, that they're the same thing. They are not. A rehearsal and a practice are very different animals. So a practice basically is what you do by yourself. It's what you do when you're working on your instrument, when you're working on your parts, when you're trying to get better as a player or as a performer. It's figuring out all of your settings, you're figuring out your amp, figuring out your pedals and your volume and all that stuff. It's tuning your drums. It's getting everything ready so that when you go in and meet with the other guys in the project or the other people in the band, that you are not wasting their time. It's all the stuff that you do by yourself. That is practice. Think of it like an actor in a play. Like, you don't just show up and then just kind of stand there and learn the lines as you're there with the rest of the band. I mean, that's not how you do things. You go home, you take your script, you memorize your lines by working on them over and over and over again to the point where you don't even have to think about what line comes next. In fact, you know it so well that you know what the other person is going to do so that you can react to that. So you can be what's called in the moment. It's a very same principle that goes into music. The acting, the performance doesn't really happen until everybody is off book, until everybody has memorized and is proficient at their parts. That's when the magic starts to happen. Your practice is where you work out the mechanics, you work out the technique, and you simply get to the point where you don't have to think about how to do what comes next. It just happens. Okay, so a rehearsal is what happens when everybody shows up and conceivably they are prepared. They know their parts and they can do them without any real difficulty. Now, obviously, depending on the difficulty of the song, certain parts are going to be harder than others, but you should at least know what it is and be able to play it 9 times out of 10, let's say. Rehearsal time is like gold. It's money. Time is money. Like, literally, time is money in some cases, because you might not have a rehearsal space. You might have to go in, like a lot of bands do, and pay for a rehearsal spot that has a PA and is away from town so you don't get the cops called. Literally, if you're there learning your parts, you are wasting not just everybody's time, but you're wasting money. And as a band, that is one of the worst things you can do, is waste the rest of the group's time and money. Rehearsals are where you take the individual pieces that have been worked on and you got them down and you put them together to see how they fit. Then you start to make the tweaks. You can't change things until you know if they're going to work together or not. You can't find that out unless you're doing them right. So really, that's what rehearsal is for. You also might add song transitions from one song to the next. You might put 2 songs together. You might work on movements depending on the kind of project you're in. You might do like trade places on the stage. You might change an instrument, like get a different guitar, get ready for the next song. Well, no one wants to sit there and watch you get a new guitar and tune it all up and get it ready to go. There should be the rest of the band doing whatever they need to do, whether it's the singer engaging the audience, whether it's some sort of drum groove going on behind. That's what rehearsal is for. It's figuring out the show aspect of things and making sure that it's all tight. And make no mistake, you are putting on a show, because at this point, nobody wants to see a group of musicians stand up on a stage and just play the songs. That is boring as hell, and no one wants that. And I don't care what kind of music you're playing. Nobody wants to just watch you play. They want it to be a performance. They got out of the house. They paid money a lot of times to see a show. And you, as a performer, it's your job to give them one. Otherwise, why are you doing this? Go practice and play in your garage. Go play in your bedroom. You're in the performance business. And that's what rehearsal is for, is creating that show. They can listen to your recording on Spotify or on Apple Music. They can listen to it on a CD or on a vinyl record. They're there because they want to see something different. They want to see something interesting. And you have to give that to them. And that is what you work on in rehearsal. Being able to just play the songs, that's prerequisite. Don't even get together until you can play the song, your parts by yourself. That's the difference between practice and rehearsal. Practice and rehearsal. And hopefully that clears things up. And if someone in your band has not figured that out yet, share this video with them because they need to know. All right, that's taking care of business for today. Come on back next week and we'll get you something new.